trained today, got to the end of the session, got poked in the eye, has been taken to hospital where he's had surgery, and he's got 8 stitches around his eye at the moment.
The person I'm most concerned about, though, is Carly at home, who's got to put up with Jack tonight for the next 2.5 hours.
It's a pretty sort of precious thing inside, so yeah.
You can see out of it though?
Yeah, no, I think so.
The eye of the tiger, eh?
Oh,
Jack Revolt, welcome.
Yeah, thanks.
Again, Jordan Lewis, hello.
What was that jacket?
Is that double denim?
You knew the cameras were going to be there.
I had a prior engagement that required me to be in some
double denim.
Nice
Where did you go in double denim?
Wood chopping. No, I think I look good. It's black denim and blue denim, so not too bad.
All right. What happened?
Yeah, so it was like the last drill on Thursday main training, and I went to pick a ball up off the ground, and someone came from the other direction, missed the ball and poked me straight in the eye, and my first initial thought, as silly as it sounds, I thought my eye popped out. I was just like, oh, hang on a second. I put my hand over my eye, looked down, I had a pool of blood in my palm, and half expecting to see my eye sitting in my hand, but yeah, I couldn't see out of my eye for 6 hours, and just had like what I could only describe as a cloudy film of sort of like a bit of blood as well. Just couldn't see anything on the right hand side of my body. There's a good photo there, just so they know which eye to operate on, that arrow. I was laughing when they were drawing that on there. I had a really good laugh about that.
So the stitches are in the eyeball?
Yeah, so the stitches are on my eyeball, on the white of my eye, up the top here. So that was, I think, just from the fingernail.
Can we get a camera and zoom in? Can you lift your eyelid?
Oh no,
and get right in there.
No, it's a bit sore. So I spent sort of 4 or 5 hours in the ear and eye hospital and just having a bit prod around, checking the pressure, and pressure of my eye was 3 times what it was supposed to be. So yeah, tore the white part of my eye and grazed my cornea. So as you can see in that photo there, you probably can't see right now, but it's certainly not as much blood in my eye. So that was from the grazing of the cornea, and yeah.
Is it the most frightening thing you've had happen to you?
Well, it was a bit surreal at the stage because it's sort of getting around the fact that you can only see out of one eye. But once I spoke to Carly about it and sort of let her know what had happened. She had a little bit of, I suppose, panic in her voice, sort of rocketed me a little bit, and then just sitting there and waiting to see people and trying to convince people that I was going to be right to play and convince myself that I'd be right to play. But yeah, so now I'm on light duties. I can't run around pre 5 days of healing for possibility of it the clot in my cornea starting to bleed again, and also this effect that gravity obviously pulls the blood in my eye back down to the bottom, and it gets rid of itself naturally. But if I go for a run, it's like a snow dome where if you shake it up and all the snowflakes come up into the snow dome, then a similar thing will happen with the eye. So I've been doing a lot of sitting on the couch and just walking a few laps at training today.
Did you send him a message?
Yeah, we spoke to him when it arrived. He said, am I out on Thursday night? He said, yeah, you're out, Jack.
Yeah, and Geordie was good enough to send me a message.
I sent you a message.
So I just had one question. So when it happens, I suppose the first instinct is to, how am I, look around to see if there's any cameras that were present. Did you crack the shits and told them to turn off all the cameras once it happened?
No, I think the media had come into the session at the start of that, and as I mentioned, it was at the end of the session, so all the cameras are gone. So
did you say anything about the cameras?
I can't remember. Yeah,
when it happened?
Maybe a slight concussion as well.
Turn the cameras off. Get them out of here. Turn them off.
Really?
It's amazing what you do when you're under a little bit of duress.
Who didn't pick up the ball, missed the ball, and poked you in the eye?
It's a tough question, actually.
So, my first initial thought, once I'd realised what happened, I was really worried about. Well, Marbio Chol he'd sort of missed it and popped me in the eye, and I was really worried about him, just sort of because it could rattle you. And then I went in and had sort of go and have a look at my own fingers, think, geez, I've got pretty pretty sort of fat fingers, and I'm sort of thinking, I caught one of them in the eye, and got to the club again and put my hand up against Marbs, and his fingers were like up here. I was thinking, I've picked the wrong bloke. He's got cricket bat, like cricket handle sort of fingers. So one of those is, popped in the eye, and but it's just a freak accident.
Yeah, so what's your vision like and when do you expect to play?
Can you see me?
I thought you were Jared when I walked in, actually.
He's getting a little bit like that.
I don't know. Like so I do know. I find out on Thursday. I'm going to go see the eye specialist.
So you know certainty to play?
No, I think look, we had Jacob Townsend who's had a pretty similar injury to what I've got, and he missed 1 week. His was in a game and sort of 14 days recovery. Mine's sort of will be 10 days recovery. But yeah, if the surgeon says I'm right to go, then thumbs up and I can train on Friday and hopefully get out there on the weekend.
Okay.
Are you any chance to sneak across to Ruffy's 250th?
Yeah, I'll be there. Yeah. So got a few tickets off Gibbo, so I wouldn't miss it for the world.
Why didn't you ask Ruff?
Family, friends.
Oh, yeah.
I'll be
Well,
hidden
your
away.
best mates.
I'll be hidden away somewhere.
It's a great day, isn't it, to get to 250 and all the circumstances?
Yeah, it is, I suppose. There's no doubt he would have had thoughts when he was going through his treatment. Will he ever get back to play a game? So to come back and reach this milestone, and that was the disappointing thing about Hodgie stuff. I wish he had have gotten off so he'd play this game in one of his best mates' milestones. But as you said before on the show, Joe, just to see him play any game this year or any football this year brings a smile to not only my face, my wife's face, everyone else who has been a part of the journey. It's such a happy occasion.
And he's playing really good footy now he's clearly built through the season, which is totally understandable, but we noted on Friday night that he's getting back to his very best.
Yeah, Friday night was his best game. And I don't think anyone really expected him to be at the level right from the start of the season that he left the game. So it's been a slow building year for him. He's had a lot of pressure with captaincy and people leaving and playing a different role. But from what I see from afar, he's really embraced that now and really enjoying that moment and playing some really good football.
Oh, he was fantastic on Friday night. You ever been kissed by another player, Jack?
No, I haven't.
You, Jordan?
No, I haven't. I remember Hodgie did it to Bud in one of the games or one of the grand finals.
In the grand finals.
And it was funny because they're mates. And I did see the Langford McVeigh one, and knowing Langers, it doesn't surprise me, but I don't think it looks great. I mean, as a player, if that was to happen to me, I'd be filthy.
You have grown up a hell of a lot, but if that was you 5 years ago, you would throw a punch, I reckon. And that's not saying that, you're a dirty, aggressive footballer. Some people would respond to that very, very differently to what Jared McVeigh did.
I think you've only got to listen to the commentary around it. I think Matty Lloyd might have said that he was well within his rights to pop him one. But
it was bizarre.
It's
bizarre,
it's
isn't
bizarre, and I suppose we saw it with Dermot, but it was so long ago. But for mine, it's just a bit of an invasion of your own personal space. That I know the AFL workplace is a completely different workplace to a lot of other ones. There's stuff that goes on, there's obviously physical contact and a fair bit of brutality, but just that invasion of someone's personal space like that doesn't sit well with me.
I'd like to know what he was thinking.
You got more chance of knowing than us.
I don't think anyone at Hawthorn would know what Will Langford was thinking.
So what's the appropriate way forward? Is it for the footballers to deal with yourselves, or I mean, they're not out of line question to the AFL was, do you actually need to do something? And my view back was, well, write me a rule, write it down, show me what it would look like.
Well, I suppose that it's so unusual that no one has ever thought to put it in the rules or...
Won't happen again.
I think that internally down at Hawthorn there'd be guys that are of a similar view of probably all of us that think it's probably not on, and they would have the conversation that needs to be had.
Yeah.
How much do you feel sorry for Patrick Dangerfield, Jack?
Oh, look, it's an unfortunate incident. Obviously, he's having on the back of a great year last year, having another great year this year. But unfortunately, these are the way that the rules have been, I suppose, written. Look, firstly, it's obviously never great to see a player knocked out and concussed,
No, that's quite
which Matty
right.
Cruiser has happened there. And
Just on a cut in, when you first saw it, did you say Dangerfield's in trouble?
I think just for the fact that he's pinned the arms. We've had a few cases of that. I think Cam McCarthy from Freo got done on a similar tackle. The fact that both arms are pinned, I think that makes it a little bit different to the Burgoyne one up in Sydney. So the ability to brace your fall is really important. But look, I'm certainly just, I can't speak highly enough and be a strong enough advocate for player safety of the head. So that's where it sits with my view.
I think it's changing. I mean, as a kid, you're taught to pin both arms and take them to the ground. And I'm not saying that was the tackle. It resulted in a knockout. So him being concussed, sorry. So that, I think that's what the MRP look at. What was the result of the action? And that, unfortunately, I think if Cruiser wasn't concussed and got up straight away, we're seeing Dangerfield play this week. So
that's the hard one.
You're not actually penalised by the action. You're penalised by the result of your action, if you know what I mean, which is the unfortunate thing and the hard thing to cop as a player.
Last one is Brett Delidio, who's going to play for the Giants this week.
Yes, no, it was a little bit of ribbing on the weekend. He was playing in the NEFL and so happened to be they were playing the Gold Coast, at the Gold Coast prior to our game and staying at the hotel as a couple of boys. So I know what the few of the boys are sort of getting into him, calling him a Jew kicker. But look, a very good mate of mine, Lids, and I'm just so happy for him and his family. They made the big move to move states and move away from your families and relationships. He gets his chance to get back out there and do what he loves to do, which play AFL footy.
All right, when you take to the field, it'll be with the Lana and Madeline Foundation 20th year Guernsey.
Give that to our jumper holder.
Yeah,
So the
thank you,
purple
Jack.
goes on the Richmond jumper.
Yeah, put it on. No, look, so...
Trent Godkin's number.
well.
Yeah, no, my jumper's sold out. But as you can see there, the 20-year
What am I
reunion.
turning it around for?
Oh, 20
It's
year.
the lovely logo down the bottom there.
Tell he's writing some good columns in the Herald Sun
Yeah,
too.
I will.
Trent?
But 20 years since the Port Arthur tragedy. Alana and Madeline Mikak, the two girls that unfortunately lost their lives. And being a Tasmanian, I can remember that I was overseas with my parents when it happened. And it really, I suppose, it changed Australia with the gun laws and John Howard. And their father, Walter Mikak, started this foundation. Look, Alana and Madeline Foundation is about safety for all children. So unfortunately, we still see too many cases of children violence and family violence, and that's what the Alana and Madeline Foundation looks to eradicate. So really looking forward to wearing those on Sunday.
We'll see you in the big game. Nice to see both of you, Jordan and Jack, with us
Thanks,
on
boys.
Players Night on 360. Let's now meet our next NAB Rising Star inductee.
The 2017 NAB AFL Rising Star Award.
Really good to get recognised. Good to get some reward for effort, I guess. Tyson Stengel likes leaving his wet Speedos in front of my locker, but that's probably just a personal one. My old man brought me down. He played footy when he was younger, so brought me down to the Warrandyte Footy Club and we had a kick around there and got into the attackers there. I loved watching blokes like Dane Swan and Scotty Pendlebury. I was a Collingwood fan when I was younger. Brian Burton will be a pretty good chance, yeah. He's played some pretty good footy.
The 2017 NAB AFL Rising Star Award.